This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by Apple Electric.
Well, it's a moment many of us have found ourselves in. A storm makes its way onto Delmarva, and then suddenly the power goes out.
It goes dark, and many of us know the outage can last for a few hours or maybe even a few days. Well, one way to keep some or maybe even all of your power going, a generator. Brian Spiros, along with the folks from Apple Electric, show us the benefits of having one, plus what you need to take into consideration when you're getting a generator for your home.
At first glance, this looks like your typical home, but it's much different than those around it. That's because it can weather pretty much any storm. All because the owner had a generator installed.
It's just a backup electrical system to provide power to your house.
Steve Prestipino is the vice president of Apple Electric in Rehoboth Beach. He says most people think about installing a generator after it's too late.
Out of sight, out of mind, but suddenly the forecast calls for bad weather and people start remembering last year, the year before, how they lost power, and they would like that not to happen again. So they start calling electricians, or they run to the big box stores or the local hardware store and they start buying up portable generators, or they call us for a whole house install. And oftentimes, by the time the storm is here, it's too late.
According to Steve, having one in place before a storm will save you a great deal of hassle. As far as what type of generator to get, Steve says that will depend on the size of your home and what you want to power. A good rule of thumb is to look at critical loads, which are basically the things you want running in your house after the power goes out.
Critical loads include refrigerator, maybe a garage door operator, kitchen receptacles. If you have gas appliances, get your gas hot water going, maybe your gas range going. Whatever your microwave circuit's plugged into, be a great one to have. A lighting circuit. Not every lighting circuit in the house, but a lighting circuit in the most well-traveled. That's going to be your kitchen, your restrooms, maybe the hallway. Those would be most common critical loads. If there's a health issue in your family, for instance, oxygen tanks, you need power for that, that's definitely the critical load.
Once it's all hooked up, here's how a generator will work. Say you're sitting there during bad weather and suddenly the lights go out. Within a few seconds, the generator will recognize there's been a loss of power. And just like that, it powers up and your electricity comes back. Steve recommends having an automatic transfer switch installed. This will kick the power on to the pre-designated critical load areas right away.
If it's a beach home that you're not there every week of the year, an automatic transfer switch would be great. That way you don't have that terrible surprise of a refrigerator that's gone bad.
On the flip side, a manual transfer switch means the homeowner has to turn it on by hand and then shut off anything non-essential in their home to keep the power going longer. That may mean the TV, certain lights, or maybe your central air. This homeowner is lucky. She had Apple Electric install a generator sized perfectly to her house. That means if the lights go out, the generator will keep everything on.
All right, Steve, so we established that when the generator kicks in, it's powering the house, but what's powering the generator?
These generators have two fuel choices. It can be liquid propane or natural gas. Depends on which municipality you live in. Here in Rehoboth, it's liquid propane. In this case, liquid propane supplier set a tank outside, piped over to the unit, and made the connection to the generator. Electrically, we made the electrical connections to the generator.
Steve also has a big piece of advice no matter what kind of generator you buy.
Generally, they go out and they'll purchase a portable generator, something you might see on a construction site. These could be 5,000 watt, 7,000 watt generators. You got a couple wheels on, you just wheel it out of your garage. The storm comes up, they've never used it, suddenly they're trying to figure out where to put the gas, does it have oil in it? If you do have one of these generators, use it before you need it, just to know how to operate it.
And when it comes to safety, Steve says keep in mind, never bring a generator inside your house, including the garage. Also, keep it away from windows and doors so you're not overcome by carbon monoxide.
Also, according to Steve, putting in a generator just like the one Brian just showed you usually takes about a day, and it's important to note. It's hard to say exactly how long your generator will keep your home powered. That's going to depend on the size of your home, the generator, and how much electricity you're going to use. If you'd like more information on generators or have someone from Apple Electric come to your home and help you figure it out, what type of generator is going to best fit your needs, all you have to do is go to DelmarvaLife.com, click on the show tab. By the way, that is now on the left side of our homepage.